Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jody Bear, and we are back for another riveting Milkshake Moments. For those that you don't know me, I've been a foundational health coach for over 43 years, absolutely bringing people foundations of health, foundations of living. And today is one day, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, you're going to feel the real in the foundations of hope. Life's Milkshake Moments. It's just this. Life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, your life will be oh so sweet. You're going to hear from our esteemed guest tonight when you go in, and maybe your milkshake has sour milk, just how to change it. So fasten your seatbelts. You will know how to make your life's milkshake oh so sweet. You know my background. If you've listened, if you haven't, like I said, 4 decades, I have had the pleasure and the honor to take over 30,000 client patients through 1.1 million pounds of toxic fat lost. And in the COVID era, recently, in the last 3 years, over 3,000 client patients have reclaimed, regained, and restarted their lives. For no food tastes as good as health feels, and no macro living will ever be found nowhere else but your micro life. And guess what? The next pounds lost, the next life and health reclaimed can be yours. So I'm continuing to empower individuals on this pristine, clean, and this healthopedia journey. You know, we do it from our brain to our poop. Remember, October, ladies and gentlemen, is the time for that colon cleanse. That's tip and advice from Dr. Jody for sure. But you know, we focus. What do you know that you focus on? What I focus on, no matter what happens, is focused emotion. You see, Helen Keller said, I want to be 100% passionate with focused emotions. I will never be at the mercy of my own emotions. And truly, truly, that is what our esteemed guest is here tonight. I will tell you, this little girl from Montana, brown eyes and a ponytail girl, Laurel, Montana. I absolutely, who knew that this would be the trajectory of my life going into age 70? That's 70. I really believe in what Les Brown says, that you live from the hunger of your heart. My hunger became absolutely a passion and my mission when I found myself a young mother at 26. Since we're talking about the social pillar here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here I am, one bun in the oven. And I went to a Leche League meeting. I wasn't even a health coach yet, but I became a health coach. Why? Because I knew eventually that this was very important to give my young son the best start in life. But it was my intuition that got me started on my mission, just like our guest here tonight. I walked into the Leche League meeting knowing that the breast milk is the best milk for babies. I wanted to learn. I had a hunger. I had a thirst. Walked into that room in this lady's beautiful home, and I looked to my left. And here was this dining room table filled with 2 food groups. Of course, at 26, I had a little less filter than I have right now. And I said, what's up with this? Are these 2 food groups additives and preservatives? I just blurted this out from the emotion and passion that was in me. This woman came up to me. She said, well, if you seem to know so much about this, why don't you do something about it? Then she introduced me to herself. And she was the vice president of La Leche League International. Why don't you do something about this? That's what my guest here tonight did. She saw a need and she did something about this. What did I do? I became a health coach. I became certified and I wrote, I'm humbled to say, 43 years later, that's the age of my son now, these same protocols and just ways to supplement and to eat right with these foods for breastfeeding and prenatal expectant mothers are still here with La Leche League International. Then son number 2 comes on. Why am I telling you this? Because this is the type of thing. This is the type of thing that you say, those incidences. You see, my guest here tonight, we just met online through a friend of a friend, which I want to give honor to Dr. Martin Pratt. He's a connector. He put us together and you just instantly knew. You instantly know. That's what those life's milkshake moments are all about. You just instantly know. You see, I now had son number 2, and they labeled him ADHD. Well, now I was seasoned. I had 3 health coaching certificates. I knew better than to label him with a diagnosis he would be shackled with his whole life. Then, after that, they decided to go ahead and do something like give him these psychotropic drugs. I knew better. So I went on a mission to find out something for my son. Life's milkshake moments. I never watched daytime TV. I was too busy. But I turned on in 1984, turned on the Phil Donahue show. It was a back to school edition. It was in September of that year. And there was Dr. Hulda Clark, the esteemed Dr. Hulda Clark, talking to Dr. Phil Donahue, but it was like she was talking to me, just like my guest when we did this IG Live about a month ago. She was talking to my soul, and she said, what if these children are just exceptional? What if they just need to grow into their brilliance? Well, I knew I was onto something. Now, this is 1984. There were no cell phones. There wasn't even the bag phone that you had in your car. No internet, not even MapQuest. But when she said Alpharetta, Georgia, and I was living outside of Atlanta at the time, I became the female Indiana Jones. I started looking. I started searching. I just knocked on a business. If I thought they sold Birkenstocks, that was a clue. If they looked like they were into natural health and the woman hadn't dyed her hair, well, I said, excuse me. It took me 2 weeks. My son was there with me. And he said, Mommy, what am I supposed to do? I said, when I squeeze your shoulder, you know what to do. Just smile. He was this cute little Dutch boy, platinum blonde haircut, these big blue eyes. I went up to Dr. Hulda Clark's door. She opened up the door. I said, Dr. Clark? And she said, yes. And I said, I'm health coach Jody. That's what they call me. But this young man calls me Mom. Would you take him in as a patient? She said, my dear, I'm retired. And I said, but you would take him, wouldn't you? Squeeze the shoulder. My son smiled angelically, and it got us in the door. That's all I needed. Within a week, he was a different young man. Within 3 weeks, the teachers didn't even recognize him. You see, these instances came to be part of our everyday life, which we just looked forward the day that we could see Dr. C. Shortly thereafter, I asked her, I said, Dr. Hulda Clark, in all due respect, would you mentee me? She said, my dear, I'm not taking any more mentees, but you would mentor me, wouldn't you? She said, I'm sorry, I really don't have room in my schedule. See, no just means next option. That's what our guest here tonight said. She never took a no. She said, next option. And then I said to Dr. Hulda Clark, what if I was the one to take your message to the next generation? Y'all know, if you've been following me, the rest of the story. I wrote on a gold card in 1984, I will pen the Eastern Medical Edition of the PDR. And here it is, Healthopedia in action. I went ahead and found this gold card during the pandemic. It fell out of my file cabinet I was cleaning, kind of like this young lady fell into my life. There are no coincidences, but life's milkshake moments. We're going to take a moment before I introduce my lovely guest to take a curtain call for our 40 authors to give Dr. Martin Pratt his due, helping us achieve in under a day on Amazon international bestseller in all 13 countries. My honor and homage go out to you, Martin Pratt, for what you do, but who you are, and our 40 authors. Vision in that gold card to mission. Come to fruition. Here is Healthopedia.
While being mentored and studying with the iconic pioneer in natural healer, Dr. Hulda Clark, and experiencing her life-changing practices and protocols, a gold card was written and dated in 1984 stated, "I will write the Eastern medical version of the PDR, Physician's Desk Reference. The universe delivered a sign to actualize this goal. Now in 2023, we are experiencing vision and mission into fruition. Healthopedia has arrived, led by the iconic 20th and 21st century icon, Dr. Bernie Siegel, MD, author of Love, Medicine, and Miracles, along with 42 extraordinary healing world changers that will motivate, educate, inspire, and propel you along your own path to wholeness, wellness, and abundance. Every compelling story will uplift you to your own epiphany of health isn't something you do, it's what you become along life's journey."
Become this with us. Go to drjody.com and you will see /books and you can get your copy, but also join us in Boca. We'll talk about this later because we need to get in and go down with our guest and get in to this amazing, amazing woman. You see, every week, as you know, we focus on the 6 pillars, the 6 arenas of positive change. Tonight, it is the social pillar. I mentioned a little bit of this quote previously. What Les Brown says, live from the hunger of your heart. When you fill your heart with whatever you are hungry for, your mind will always find a way to achieve your desires. And that's what Anelia Sutton has done. My goodness gracious, she is a social change maker, a military vet. We thank you for your service. I was thinking about my mother, knowing that absolutely this is who she said. You see, my mother was a Norwegian American first generation immigrant. She got her words tied up. And I thought about this today around 4:30. It was an hour and a half before our show, when she was just spellbound by someone. Rather than saying impressed, she would say, "I'm so compressed." And I said, "Mama, you've got the wrong word." She says, "No, it is the right word. I'm compressed because I'm so glad that they come into my heart every time I hear them." This is what you're going to feel about being compressed about Amelia Sutton. She epitomizes Maya Angelou's "be the change you wish to see in the world." She is a change maker. As this Navy veteran, she created and launched Mission Possible University. Why? To educate, empower the new generation. Shouldn't look old enough to do that, but the new generation to just overcome the injustices and corruption. And she does it one life, one story, one healing, one victory at a time. So welcome, Anelia, to Life's Milkshake Moments. It is just such a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here, honestly.
I mean, Miss Change Maker. Miss Change Maker, we're not going to do anything. Did you like my mother's word? I'm compressed. You know, they come to me. That's what you did. You came to me. And I'm going to say, thank you, Mama. We used your word tonight because that just fits. And you fit the spot. I mean, this journey into change, give our audience a little bit of the Cliff Notes, because there's a lot. There's a lot. about this journey into being a change maker, will you please?
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity again. I just saw myself just like a regular, ordinary, going on with my regular life. And then this huge thing happened to me, just like, life happens. And when it happens, you have to, make a decision. There's a fork in the road. You have to decide, okay, is this going to, you know, pummel me into submission? Am I going to just give up, or am I going to do something about it? Am I going to make a difference in my own life or in other people's lives? And that's exactly what I did. At first, it definitely pummeled me.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. No one is prepared for a family crisis, especially dealing with the legal system and the
It's
mental health
family.
system.
It's
Yeah, and it's
family.
yeah.
And I just gotta just interject one thing, Anelia. You epitomizes Les Brown's quote. Is it
Oh,
going to make you or break you? You decided to
yes.
make it you. And when he says anything ever hits you out of the blue, this was out of the blue now, wasn't it?
Completely just like getting the rug pulled right from under you. Just there is no preparation for having your child being accused of horrendous crimes that happened while she was under psychotropic drugs, that made her have these insane, you know adverse drug reactions. And it just turned my life upside down. It turned our world upside down. My world will never be the same. My life will never be the same. And I just decided to do something positive with the pain. And I turned that pain
Oh,
into, a purpose and a mission to help prevent this from happening to other families. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't a straight line. There were lots of, tears and crying and myself to sleep in a fetal position, for months and months. And I finally I found my way through that, and I knew that I needed to do something. I just didn't know what. I didn't know what I could do, because you feel alone in your plight. You feel it's such a heavy burden, and I just one website at a time, I just started looking things up for myself, because I knew there was a problem with the system. The system was broken. I didn't know how broken the legal system and the mental health system
mm,
was. And then when you have two giant system and both are broken and both are extremely corrupt, the justice system and the mental health system in the United States, they are giants on their
yes,
own. So
yes.
imagine being caught in the crossroads of both of them, because that's what happened to my child.
Mm,
And
mm,
I
mm.
was not prepared. No one was. And my mission in life is to make sure that people are prepared. And I wrote a book. And so the book talks about the whole journey from being a mother, being, lost and not. Oh, it's Mission Possible
Oh,
University.
I just, you know what I did, Anelia? I think I put two possibles because you had two corrupt things after you. MissionPossiblePossible.com. Okay, but we'll change that to one. But isn't that the truth?
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
things that you had to deal with. My goodness gracious.
yeah. I like it. Mission Possible. I love it, but it wasn't easy. But I want people to know, even though it's not easy, it is still possible. And that's why I named my school Mission Possible. It's missionpossibleuniversity.com.
I'll get
Mission
it right
Possible.
yet here. I'll get it right here. I'll
I
get it
got you.
right yet. Yes.
Yeah.
But you are Mission Possible. You've written a book.
Oh, yeah.
You are personified. That's I think that's why the universe is just letting me give you a little more shine because you are Mission Possible. Okay, third time's the charm. Here you go.
Yeah. Yep. There it is. MissionPossibleUniversity.com. It was born out of necessity. It is a mother's wish my plea is to make sure that no other family goes through this. No mother, no father, no sister, no brother. No one should have to go through this pain. I am going to be that voice to prevent that from happening ever again. What happened to my daughter was she went to the dentist and they recommended that she had her wisdom teeth extracted. So she did all 4 at the same time,
which is a lot in
which
and of itself.
is extremely painful, right? And so, of course, the pain meds to mitigate the pain afterwards were the cause of all of this, pain and drama that has lasted for 10 years.
A decade.
A whole decade.
The whole decade. And I mean, so you saw this happening with your daughter. She pain meds, whatever. Let's take us into, I'll just say this once again, because I am so compressed. It's our word for tonight. You are Mission Possible. How many people they go into and they do their rabbit hole research, they get to a dead end. I bet you can't even count how many dead ends you got to. I mean, and I think that in of itself, you just took one step at a time. You were in this pain. You wanted to get to positivity, to purpose, but give us just an example or two as we go into this legal research of yours.
Yeah, I started totally lost, totally confused. And it seemed like every step of the way, I took 10 steps backwards because I didn't come from a legal background. I'm not an attorney. I don't have just no clue. Any interaction with the legal system from the past was always, I'll go hire an attorney. That was it. That was the extent of my education into the justice system. Oh, you have a legal issue? Oh, hire an attorney. That's it. That's all I knew.
Yes.
And so when I began my journey, so many light bulbs moment, like I was starting to get it little piece by piece. And I'm telling you, that is the most joyful, most freeing moments of my life in that pain throughout that journey. I was starting to answer some of the questions that I had as to why or how things were unfolding with my daughter's case. And then I started looking into joining different groups on, social media. And I started to make connections. And that's actually what was the beginning of the birth of my mission. I didn't even know I was on a mission. I was just on a search. I was just hunting for things, going down that rabbit hole of research. And I started making the connection, and I started sharing what I was learning, and people started liking it, and people started asking me, to help them. And, it grew from there. It grew quite organically. I didn't plan, I'm going to plan this mission. I'm going to plan this school. No, everything just kind of unfolded and unraveled as I was on the journey to legal research to save my daughter. And also it became a bigger mission. I saw that this was bigger than me. This was bigger than my daughter, because there were so many people being railroaded by the court, the injustices. So millions I found. And I knew.
Whoa. And you knew. It's like the good book says, I have a plan for you for a future and a hope.
Yes.
That's what you did, girl.
I stepped into it. I accepted it.
Yes. Yes.
I accepted the mission. I accepted the path, and I just kept going. And I will say to the audience, even though you may not have a idea, not even an inkling of what you're doing, do it scared. Yes. Just keep going, keep moving forward, because many days I wanted to quit because I was working and researching in pain, but I made myself keep going. I would just do one little thing every single day, and that would add up. And before you know it, that little additional thing would snowball. And then now, I know the law better than attorneys. I know the law better than most judges. They always ask, anytime I go to a courtroom or I enter into a case now, or my students are asked, are they an attorney? Because I train them up so well that, when I'm speaking to attorneys, I intimidate attorneys. I have to kind of like dumb it down a little because they get a little they get a little intimidated because, they want to be the one that you look up to, and no, I know the game, I know the law, and I know my rights. And that's my passion. I want everyone to know their rights, because when you know your rights, they cannot target you. They cannot mess with you. They will leave you alone and leave you in peace. And that's what I want. That's my mission. That's my word for the day. Know your rights. Know
your rights. Knowledge is power.
Yes.
You don't know. When you start, you didn't know what you didn't know until now you know.
Yeah, exactly. I had no idea. Because when you hire an attorney, that's a partnership.
Yes.
But when you don't know your rights, it's giving away your power totally and completely.
You're looking like that. My son, when I saw you, you're just like a breastfed baby.
Yeah. Yes.
How's that for a woman analogy? I mean, I don't even want to be breastfed by no lawyer.
Yeah.
No,
you want to know so that you can have that, educated conversation with them and have the questions answered so that you can know how to move and maneuver. Because, yeah, I get that, you may not be ready to manage your own case, especially as a beginner, or you just may not have the time, right? Yeah. But you at least want to know what the duties and responsibilities are to you as the client, so that you're not taken advantage of. Because if you don't know, they will absolutely take advantage of you not knowing.
And it's like the dollars for hours. I don't know about you, but I don't make $800 an hour. Okay. and truly,
yes.
Well, then bye-bye. And frankly, in all due respect, I know fine lawyers. I know some that are in my close circle, but they're few and far between. And I've seen both of these lawyers get into an elevator after a case, and then I go to what was my gym and my workout place when I lived in Atlanta, and they were both there sharing a drink.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're friends, they're buddies. With the judges too.
Yes. And I love this. Before we take our commercial break, I loved what you said in the statement. It was just so beautiful. It was so heart-centered. You said, my content is changing lives because it's easy. And we're going to be getting into this in the second half, ladies and gentlemen. My content is easy to read and execute. We like easy, effective, and simple. Y'all know that, my audience here.
Yes.
I wish that existed when I began my own legal journey. So out of your pain, and you found it positivity for yourself.
Yeah.
Now it is your purpose. So how did you start just writing this and writing your content? Oh, I love that laugh. There's a good one in there. I know, Anelia.
Yeah. I tell you, the way that I write, and one of the best compliments, one of the best reviews or testimonials that I received was from a young woman, young mother. She had a 2-year-old. She was in some just a horrific custody battle in family court, and she said that I made things so easy to understand. And she said that with tears falling from her eyes, because she had been searching for so long for somebody to just please give it to her in simple terms so that she can fight as a mother for her child.
Yes.
That I understand you. You sound so normal. And I said, oh my
Thermal. I'm sorry. That just cracked me up. Forgive
Yeah,
me.
it cracks me up every time. I'm like, wow, it goes to show that people are just hungry for the knowledge in a way that they can digest it, in a way that they can actually use it and execute it. And she turned her case around, within 30 days, I'm happy to say. I can't tell you how many people, I have lost count how many people who have shared stories like that just off of my free YouTube videos. And they just watch my videos over and over. And I made it so easy to understand. And they just went forward. And one dad, he came back and told me that after 4 years and 2 attorneys, and he lost all his money to the attorneys, he was still losing his daughter. And he found my videos, and within a month, he gained custody of his daughter. Within a month of finding my videos, my free videos on YouTube. And he said, I made it so simple. And he was so, profoundly changed and transformed that the judge asked the man if he could invite his judge friend from the next court over to meet this man, because he sounds so articulate and he was presenting things in court that the judge in his 30 years said that no attorney had ever brought that case study to him, that case law. And so, it's when you're passionate about the thing that you're doing, it doesn't feel like work. And that's how it feels like, it's just second nature now. And if you would have told me this, 10 years ago, I'd have been like, no way, not me.
Okay.
Me? No.
No, but you never know. So, and I always give people a nickname because we were compressed, and the case law, whatever, it's just going to be from now on, Anelia C. Hutton. Okay. Let's take a commercial break from our sponsor, Vibra 360. We'll be right back. And you're going to need that energy with this good alkaline coffee. Dr. Jody approved. Just get yourself a 1 cup at a time. It'll give you energy for your pain deposits. You'll stay in the positive zone so you can fight your mission. And so I'm going to say back to this story, Anelia C. Hutton. And by the way, thank you, Vibra. I can truthfully say, I want to put up your YouTube channel. What is it, Anelia? What is your YouTube? Where can they find you on YouTube?
Everything is under Anelia Sutton. Everything. Just
everything. You just remember, and Anelia, I just threw in the C just to give her some real shine on that one. But it is AneliaSutton.com. Everything's there, and everything in you is the best way, because this is how you grow organically. You start with your own success, then you find another and another and another. I just, when I said life's milkshake moment, I really meant that. Your milkshake was sour milk.
Ooh.
And you started building that recipe, one life, one change maker at a time. So how, and I'm just going to say something. I will say, it doesn't matter which side of the aisle, what I'm talking about. Corruption is everywhere. Money talks, money talks. And if you don't think it is, well, I've got a screen door you can put up in Alaska and the North Pole. Okay, it just is. So you knowledge is power. So how does somebody build their milkshake moment that has turned sour into something positive? And how then do you protect yourself? That's the first ingredient, how to protect yourself from this corruption.
Well, I added to that phrase, that famous quote, knowledge is power. I changed it. For me, it's knowledge is power and protection. Because when you have the knowledge of your rights and the law and how to enforce your rights and how to enforce the law, I'm telling you, you can move mountains in a court matter. I'm telling you, things change. The judge starts to behave a little bit differently. This is what I've discovered for myself and for my students and for my listeners on, the free social media videos that I put out. Knowledge is truly power and protection. It will shield you. And they will just, be in awe of you and wonder what happened and start to, wonder if you are an attorney or, if you, where's all this legal knowledge coming from? And I keep hearing that over and over. So there has to be some truth to it, because too many of my listeners, and I can't even keep up with the comments on TikTok, where it says people are calling in, not calling in, people are writing in on the comments saying how I changed their lives, how I changed their case, and how the attorneys and the prosecutors and just everybody in the case, everything is turning around. And I'm like, wow. And this is just free videos that I'm putting out because I want this information in everyone's back pocket. Everyone needs to know their rights. Yes. And I will keep saying that over and over every single time. You need to know your rights. When you know your rights, no one can take that away from you. Knowledge is something that you will take with you forever.
That's a beautiful quote. Knowledge is power and protection. I just had to put it up there. And remember, you can find her at AneliaSutton.com, and you can also Mission Possible University. We're going to get into how this university works. How does this? And I'm sure y'all, the audience, you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, I'm not an attorney. How? And this is kind of, Anelia, we have something in common here, because I always say no medical guarantees, but the body put in the right condition can and will heal itself. There's no guarantees that you're going to win, but having this knowledge and power at least puts you one step above anything else. So how can a person win in court? No guarantees now.
There are no guarantees, and not even an attorney can guarantee the win, right?
No.
But you're putting yourself in a better position by knowing the truth about your case. And a lot of times people it doesn't even dawn on them that when you do hire an attorney, you're actually having to explain to the attorney your story when it's already your story. It is with you.
Yes, it's in me.
Yeah, you know it like the back of your hand. Okay, so now you're turning it over to someone else, and then they, as a third party, have to explain it to the court, whereas it's better coming from you. But if you're not confident enough, at least you will have the knowledge to deal with the attorney and manage the attorney and have the attorney deliver your expectations and not just run you through the gauntlet, which is what they typically do when you don't know your rights. They just take control of the situation and you're just there left, lost and confused. But I don't want you lost and confused anymore. I want you fully aware. I want you fully informed. And I want you to make sure that you exercise your rights, whether you have an attorney or not. So the way that the school works is it's just like going to any other website. It's a website. You go to missionpossibleuniversity.com. I have more free courses than paid courses, but the free courses basically will empower you with the knowledge to at least get the foundational pieces to know the truth of what's going on. How does the case unfold, right? And now you have that. When you go to court with just the free courses, when you go to court, they are going to start treating you differently. Okay. It's an intangible truth. I can't, it's not something that you could point at and put your finger on. It's a feeling like when you know something, there's a different person showing up, right? It's really hard to put your finger on that.
Well, it's confidence. It's one of our sponsors. Confidence tones. You go from fear, fear and doubt and anger to confidence. That's that
Yes.
frequency that you get to confidence, and things just happen. Your shoulders go back, you change because your mindset then becomes your skill set. That's my take on this.
Yes. And a lot of the students that actually did go through my free courses, they say that. They say that, oh my God, if nothing else, my level of confidence, I'm no longer fearful. I'm not afraid to go to court now.
Mm-mm.
And that is worth gold right there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, they say that they're not afraid and they're ready and they can speak confidently about their legal matter. And it's just a changed life. And I love it. I just feel so blessed that I can take, have just play one small role in their lives being transformed in that way. And it's just an incredible feeling. That's the stuff that life is made of. I mean, just giving and loving on people and seeing how they blossom and they just come alive. And then when they come back and they tell me, give me the updates of their case, especially if they won, it's a beautiful thing. I celebrate with them. It's amazing.
And Anelia, this is the type of thing, life's milkshake moment. That becomes the whipped cream and the cherry on top.
Yeah.
You put sprinkles on a lot of people's lives, and because you just do it for the sake of doing. That's what it's all about. I loved what you said. Another wonderful thing you said on your superlative intake form, A+ from Dr. Judy on that one. And you said as iron sharpens iron. That is one of my favorite verses because it's true. One person sharpens another. You're not out there bragging on you. You learned and you get sharpened by them. They get sharpened on you. And together we create this movement, correct? Please speak to that for a few moments, would you please?
Well, when I was thinking about the name of my organization, because it really started to grow rapidly, and I was like, I need a name. And I just went right to that. I said prayer. I went to bed, I slept on it, and that's what came out. Iron sharpens iron. And I added the word council, COUNCIL, not the other council as an attorney, but the council as in group, as a team, as a people, of equal parts, moving forward together. So I added that word to symbolize unity and solidarity is what we need. Yes, iron sharpens iron council.
Yes.
Absolutely. And so that's just the name of my organization that's kind of like running behind the scenes. But yeah, I really believe in that. I live those words. It's not just a organizational name. I live that. I believe that. I want that for all of us. We need that unifying front, and I love when I hear the stories and people just come away with, if nothing else, against that I'm telling you, is that level of confidence. I see it when they're talking. I hear it in their voices. I can even sense that energy when they send me an email or comment on social media videos. Oh my gosh, they just exude it. So you can't help but pick up on that high frequency vibration. It's an amazing transformation. So the next level, because life is about moving forward. The next level is
one step at a time up that ladder.
Yeah. I want, my goal and my mission has gone from the school to now I want to take this mission across the entire United States. My dream is to see one day at least 3,000 people in every state know their rights, and then they turn around and reach out and teach one other person, and now we'll really start to turn the tides in our favor in the justice system. Just
because knowledge,
3,000 people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 1.5 million people. Let's just believe that. And you put 1 and 5 together is the number 6. That is a number for movement and change. Did you know that?
No.
Well, now you do. I mean, seriously, that is serious movement and change. And we're going to hold that in your hand. The last few minutes, Anelia, I mean, I just knew this was going to be gooey. I just knew it was going to be gooey. That's the word that just came out of it. This last piece of social change,
Mhm.
What is the last piece that you want to share with your audience? But we're going to do two. We got enough time. I'm figuring this out in my head. If
Okay.
you're out there, ladies and gentlemen, if they're out there, and I
Mhm.
know you're out there listening, Anelia, what would you say to somebody who is lost, confused, in pain? What is my next step, Anelia?
Ooh, so many steps, so many moves they could make. They
Yes.
believe in yourself, number one. Believe
Yes.
that you can overcome this. Believe that you can, because if I can, trust me, you can too. Anybody can. Okay. As far as I would literally recommend going to my home website, aneliasutton.com,
I'll put
because
this back up here. Hold on. I got it.
everything is geared towards the beginner, because I will never forget how it felt when I was a beginner. So I write with the beginner's heart in mind. Everything is geared towards the beginner. That way, everyone is included. So if they start off by just going to my website, they will be uplifted and empowered right on the main website. The very first video that they watch, they will see how to maneuver this system and really how to overcome. So that's the first move. And then also on the website, if they could join my email list, because I don't call my email list an email list. It's really a digital magazine, because I answered so many questions over the years.
I bet you do.
I get a lot of questions. I get tons of questions every day. Every day.
Oh, Anelia, when we were on that IG live, because y'all know you've seen it on TV, I'm having a little insurance, little fuss right now, like for 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
you were absolutely kind enough, not knowing me from Adam's house cat, and you brought me in to your IG live. I've never seen so many questions on a live in my life. It was crazy.
I get inundated like that all day, every day. It's a lot. So what I did was, because I'm just one person, versus the many. So the way that I figured that I can serve the many is to put everything in a magazine, in a digital magazine format. So if they go to aneliasutton.com/free, they'll go directly to the magazine. But if they don't remember all of that, just go to aneliasutton.com and you'll see the digital magazine invitation at the bottom of that page. Join that. I promise you, you will be so uplifted and empowered with a free magazine that answers so many questions that I'm sure you have. So go to aneliasutton.com. I live the life to serve. I love serve. I love helping people, because I won't forget how it felt when I was lost and I was asking people who I thought knew a little bit more than I did, and they didn't. They had the ego and they had the attitude, and it was just a lot to deal with. I don't want anyone to go through that. I tried to make it as simple and as pain-free as possible. So yeah, I really do. I give a lot more for free than in terms of paid services, because when I first started out, I lost everything. I lost my house to foreclosure because I couldn't work. My mind was just, silly putty. It was just a mush. And I lost my business. I had a small website design company. I quit. I couldn't continue working, so I put in for leave from the United States Navy, and it was just everything was in shambles, and I had to rebuild slowly. So I know what it's like to go to the grocery store with $7. Okay. And I know that I lost everything: house, cars, everything, business, everything. But the most important thing from that was I didn't lose hope. I
Yeah.
held on to that. Let me tell you, I held on to that. Even when I only had $1 to take the bus, and that was my little mental vacation. I would take the bus with $1, and I would just hold on to hope. I would just, on my little tiny phone screen, I would just look up legal terms, and I had my little spiral notebook that I bought from the dollar store, right? And I would always take, and I was on my mental vacation, but I was still studying, and I never lost hope. Have faith in yourself.
And studied and studied. Just like
Mhm.
little side note, Alicia Williamson that was singing that opening song, "There Is Hope." Well,
Oh,
when you listen to that song, Anelia, yours truly was singing the background vocals. That's why I can do this. Alicia Williamson gave me permission to use this as my theme song, but I freely
oh.
give it to you. When you listen to those words,
Mm.
we did this in 1996. It is as true as 1996 as it is today. There is hope. Anelia, you have given people hope. You've given people positivity out of pain. You didn't stay in the pain because there's no gain in pain. It's
Mhm.
it's more work to become a victor than to stay a victim. You
Yeah.
absolutely positivity. Now you've got a purpose. And what you're going to do is protect. That's your fourth P. That's the fourth dimension. Protect people the
Mhm.
way that we deserve to be protected, and know that it won't be just, I'm praying for you, which I am a faith-based believer, but you're going to know you come in, as you said, as a partner. That's the fifth dimension of what I see that you've done, because it's protection. And you go in, whether you have a lawyer or not, ladies and gentlemen, you now are a partner in your life rather than giving rights up to your life. So what is the last minute that you want to sum this all up and put the cherry on top of your life's milkshake moment?
It wasn't easy, but it was worth it.
Yes. Yes.
I'm telling you, I am living proof. I am living proof that it's going to be worth it. Just keep going, keep moving forward. And I provide free knowledge in a way that is easy for you to understand, stuff that I wish was available when I started studying. So now I make it possible for you to go further faster than I ever did. It took me 10 years. It'll take you 3 months. So I just saved you 10 years. So,
And
yes.
you have blessed our viewers' life way more than 10 years. Thank you, Anelia. We're going to take a commercial break. Let's get an update a little bit later. And we say later, alligator, but I am so honored that you came on, and Traverse TV will never be the same in this social pillar. Much love. We'll be
Thank you.
back from our commercial break. Let's take a listen to Traverse TV and our next sponsor, livefreely.today.
Aging seniors face a variety of challenges when it comes to their health and well-being. Now, there's a way to take control of aging. Meet Buddy, your personal health assistant. Buddy is a cutting-edge digital health solution that empowers seniors and their caregivers to be proactive in aging. The platform works on smartwatches worn by the senior and paired to their phone. Buddy automatically detects, predicts, and prevents falls. If a fall is detected, your loved one's watch will vibrate and display fall detected, I'm okay, or help me. At the same time, an alert is sent to the caregiver and a 5-minute countdown begins. If the alert is not addressed within the 5 minutes, Buddy will automatically connect to 911. Many times, a loved one is prescribed a walker or cane when they become a fall risk. Through Bluetooth and gamification, Buddy encourages the use of assistive walking devices by providing points that can be converted to gift cards. Buddy also reminds your loved ones to take their medications on time. One of its most innovative features, Buddy uses all the data it collects to create a personalized baseline and measures deviations to alert of potential health issues. Gain greater connectedness, peace of mind, independence, and security through Buddy, your personal health assistant. To learn more, visit www.buddylife.com.
buddylife.com. We've certainly gammed and done the gamut of the social pillar tonight, ladies and gentlemen, haven't we? From a mother being so concerned and taking this vision from her daughter into creating something that was so amazing. And our sponsor that is in our Healthopedia book under Bestitarian Buddy, it's the 7th chapter. Arthur and Daniel Zhu will be our guests on the 30th back here on Mindset Monday. So take a look, take a listen, but check Buddy out. It is absolutely a device unlike any other. So go ahead, check out livefreely.today. And to wind up what we have here today, I will say more than anything, this was a milkshake moment. I told you, didn't I? I told you that it was going to be something that you'll never forget, because that is who Anelia Sutton is. She is an iron sharpens iron person. She is a change maker. She is all of that. And she's real. Real stands for results with enthusiasm and an attitude of love. You felt her heart, didn't you? She epitomizes Les Brown's quote. It is necessary for you to do what only you can do. Know that you can do it, and do it as though your life depends on it. Why? Because it does. So go about it like no one else. Keep pushing, keep going, keep striving, Anelia, and she will do this for you too at missionpossibleuniversity.com. Wanted to give a couple of announcements. On Tuesday, I will be starting my absolute latest 21 Days to Your Best You Mastermind. It will be 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. 8 weeks going through my book. It's been a while, but we've got a few things going, a couple of books, this, that, and the other. It is going to be 21 Days to Your Best You in 8 weeks. We will commence on the 17th. But if you miss it, come back on the 5th of December, a master's mastermind. Our next Healthopedia project, none other than, and you can go to drjody.books. Where is it? Or my email, you know what that is as well. It's drjodybear.com. I can tell you, this is what we're going to do. drjodybear.books. What is it? After Healthopedia, the Foundations of Health, we're going to have 40 authors, and they're going to be women. I'm a traditionalist, men. It's ladies before gentlemen. We'll get to you too. So our seats are half full. I'm honored to say this. Go pick up your slot. Go pick it up. This is an early bird price, and we will start in November on our way to just you being an international bestseller and a best-selling author, along with all the perks by April. And as I said, just go ahead. What did we start out with? Boca, what are we doing there? This is Dr. Jody Events. I will tell you, without a doubt, this is going to be an event. What have I talked about? Our free summit? Well, it's not free, but my information is, but it almost is free. When Anelia was talking about free, I got this in my mind for a nominal cost. And our seats are a third full. We only have 150 seats. This is what you're going to get. The wisdom of Dr. Bernie Siegel by video. Dr. James Marinakis, my guru and teacher that was on Mindset Monday. Serena Brown Travis, Kimberly Meredith, Dr. Gary Shan Sanchez, Rex Seitz, Dame Doria Cordova, Renee Brown, Dr. Mark Chavez, Jamie Kerr, Jason Estes, Jeremy Hoffman, Dr. Michael Pierce, myself, and you. This is my question. Why learn about health when you can experience it? Just be in Boca. Just be there. Just be there. Your life will be changed forever. Why? Because I know what Dr. Jim Marinakis teaches, being his student for so long. I know that it would be more than health is what you do, but what you become along your life's journey, for that epiphany that will change you unlike any other. So join us in Boca. Be in Boca. By the way, the weather's great. Why not? But Les Brown's quote, I know I've quoted him a lot tonight, but I thought of this with Anelia when he says, if you fall down, just fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. And she did, and you can too. Remember to look for her at AneliaSutton.com, MissionPossibleUniversity.com. You just did that, Anelia. You looked up, you got up, and you're helping people get up. Remember, 1.1 million people, because she will and is the change in this world. You've really created, Anelia, a whole recipe, a different recipe for life's milkshake moment. So just remember, you can find me at drjody.com, my YouTube channel, which is Healthapedia365, on Instagram at Healthapedia, and that's HEALTS, and that is also 365. There we'll be featuring all of our wonderful authors. That's what we're going to do there for sure. Healthapedia 365. And then if you just want old school, just call me at 1-800-820-0584. That's 1-800-820-0854. And until this next time, remember, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. And when you do, life will be oh so sweet. And so this is Dr. J saying, have a healthy Healthapedia kind of day. Ciao for now.